Good morning. Welcome back. It's Monday, and we've got a project going on this morning. So if you remember back to Friday, we were working on our disc. We had a wheel hub bearing go out. The hub and the spindle got destroyed in the process of that, and we're waiting on parts to get the new spindle and hub assembly. However, we're struggling to get the old one out a little bit. So we're working on that here this morning, and good news. We called around to a couple of other Landau dealers on Saturday and found one. So we have one. So we're going to get it apart and get it back together. I'm doing my best to film it, but it's a little tense and there's a lot of people around. So we'll see how we do here. Lots of heat, lots and lots of heat. Yeah, I don't think so. We're struggling here. Cutting, heating. It doesn't want to go. Update. It's not going well. It's not going well at all. So we have heated and pressed and heated and pressed and split it. We actually took a cutoff wheel and put a slit in that tube that this thing slides into, the whole length, all the way from the top to the bottom, so that it would spread apart and we could just press it out. Still will not move. We took it out, we flipped it over, so we were pushing it down back into it. It did move a little bit and then it quit. So we took it back out, flipped it back the way we've been pushing on it. Won't move. Won't move at all. So now we're putting more heat on it, and we'll see if that makes a difference. But this is difficult. We got it. That heat worked after we had it split the whole length. That's really hot, so we're letting her cool down. But yeah, we had to split it. Still wouldn't go. But there it is. That's what we had to get out. You can see our slot. And here's the new one. It's an updated design. I'm guessing they've had lots of trouble with these. Different hub that hopefully has better bearings in it. And yeah, so once that thing cools down, we'll get the new one put in. We've got to weld that slot back up, and then we can go put it back on the disc and keep moving. The reconstruction process has begun.
I don't think it moves much.
Split, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got to address this cut that we put in it and trying to get it cleaned up so the new one will fit in there nicely. Well, before we weld it up, the new one fits. It's got a little wiggle to it. We're worried about it clamping down when we weld that. So do we put it in there and then weld, or weld and then put it in? Dad's way better at this than I am. He's getting it welded up. So Dad's gonna finish welding that up. We'll let it cool down, maybe throw some paint on it so it doesn't get all rusty. And then we're gonna take that down and try and get it put on the disc here this afternoon, so we can get that disc running again. Should be able to do it, but we'll see. I printed off some plot results. I need to run to the bank. I've got a couple of things to do, so I'm going to run and do those right now. And then when I get back, hopefully he'll have that done and we can take it down there and keep the disc moving a little bit. It's kind of throwing my plans off for the week. Like I said, I need to do some seed business stuff because, well, it's after harvest and we need to check in with the guys and just kind of revisit everything before too long here. So we'll get to that, but we do have to keep the tillage moving. I thought I was going to have to Wednesday till we got that new hub from the other dealer. So what ended up happening is we called a dealer up in Michigan that's not too far away, and they had one in stock. So we're going to get the other one that we had ordered on Friday, and just keep it around as a spare anyway, just to have it. So yeah, not a big deal, but this way we get running 2 days sooner. So that's a good thing. I'm back. Look at that. Look at that. Should be good to go. We're gonna load it up in Dad's truck, head to Berkey, get it installed. Alright, we made it back to the field here. So we gotta get that piece into there. We'll see what we can do here. Can you push? Okay, hold on. We gotta get that, yeah. Pull it back a little bit. Oh. Okay, we'll push in. Yep. 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 Aha! Excellent. Okay, see. Oh, we gotta.
It needs to go.
Well, that was significantly easier than every other part of this project. So we got that back in there, got the bolt in, got the washers in, got it greased, got the new spindle put in, got the wheels put on, and we should be good to go. So we're gonna jump in there and try and finish this. Well, our wheel is definitely not wobbling like it was. Good deal. The ground is a fair bit tackier. We've got more moisture in the ground. I forgot to tell you guys it snowed on Saturday, like legit snowed, sticking to the ground. Everything was white for a day there. So we got a little moisture out of it, not a lot. Definitely not slick or slippery. We're not running a huge amount of slip, I don't think. Where's the slip? Slip, just push the slip button. 4%, so we were about the same as we were before running our front wheel assist on. It's just getting muddy on the tires out there on the disc a little bit more than it was the other day. But that's okay. Everything looks good. We'll make a few rounds here, see how it goes. Well, we're just gonna keep going. But I'm thinking about a live stream. That's what I'm thinking about. A surprise live stream. Whoa! Look at that pretty tractor. That is a little tiny grain cart on an 8RX. Use what you got. Okay, we're back to the boring tillage where nothing goes wrong. Remember I said that right before the wheel bearing went out on this thing? Yeah. Hopefully it goes better today. So far so good. I'm kind of working these rows off in front of the woods. We'll finish this field out that way, and then we've got more to do on that side with the really long rows that go all the way through. I'll show you the map, but technically I'm still in that field, and you can see that we're just kind of doing the whole long rows all the way through there. Doesn't really matter, but I'm saving the really long ones because in a half an hour here I'm going to do a live stream, and long rows are better for not paying attention to what you're doing. I mean they're better for having time to respond to the questions and follow along with the live stream while I'm accomplishing my work and paying attention to what I'm doing. That's what I meant, I promise. Well, he lost his little grain cart. Pretty sweet tractor, though. Anyway, not quite going to get the wedge finished up there, but I did get past the woods and along, whatever. Anyway, it's 2:52. Live stream starts at 3, so we're going to jump back over to the other side of the field there and get ready for that, and we'll finish this up before we're done here. I would guess it's going to take us another hour and a half to finish here, something like that. And then we've got another 80 acres down the road a ways. We'll try and get done tonight. We're unlikely to drive the tractor back because it'll be dark by the time we're done, so we'll probably come down tomorrow and get this tractor and hopefully the grain cart and everything as well, and then we can be done. There's a you see the leaves flying there? Dust devil, I think they call them. It's a little mini tornado blowing the leaves around there. All right, well, we jumped back over into the long rows, and I'm just finishing up the wedge kind of here. So we're about done with this field. I got the ends on the north side done along the road. We're going to come back here and we're going to do ends across the middle. So I've been going all the way straight through. The problem is that makes it kind of rough when you got to plant end rows next spring. So we're going to go ahead and do the end rows and put them back in there and try and level it off a little bit more. Oh, I stopped for a second because I needed to make a pit stop. I noticed that my safety chain was dragging. Our latch is broken. We used to have a wire on there to hold that on. I think my zip ties will hold. I don't really have to hold the weight of anything if it breaks. The chain will do that. They just have to keep the clip, the hook from falling off of the chain. I don't know, we'll try that. I have a new one back at the farm at Waldron. It just needs to get put on. So thought we'd walk out here just for a second and you guys can see we're moving a lot of dirt. Sometimes it's hard to see it from the cab, but you can see how well we're mixing this stuff in. There's a lot of dirt getting moved. We've got a lot of nice loose dirt down a couple of inches. I think our disc is doing a really good job, actually. I really like it. So this stuff will weather out. All of the fine stuff will break down over winter. We'll be left with bigger pieces of stalk, stuff like this, but the insides will be rotting out because they're shredded lengthwise. The root balls are all loose. I really like that, so that we're not trying to plant into those in the spring. That's what a chopping head doesn't do, is take care of the root balls and everything else and mix the dirt in with it to help get it to break down. So this one's still anchored a little bit. I mean, it's loose, the dirt's moving, but it's, yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the job our disc does. Vertical tillage tool. It's a VT, Landau 7431. VT Plus, says so right there. I'm making that first pass along the road. This is where we had all that trash and leaves that blew across. Like that big pile right there. Yeah. We may have to hit this one twice, or it's going to be what it is. We're not going to get it worked in very good, but we'll do our best. Just finishing up the wedge here. We got just one pass along the road to do yet, and these end rows, and then we're on to the last 80. 5:30. We gotta have the lights on. Anyway, this is it. This is what we got left. 77.5 acres. So it should take me probably 3 hours here. I'm guessing it'll be about 3 hours. So 8:30, 9 o'clock we'll be done. And we're just gonna take this back to the farm, which is now that way. We've got a truck down here that I can take back, and then Dad and I can come down, or Phil and I, or somebody will come down tomorrow with that truck and leave the truck and take the tractor and the zoo tractors, the disc and the grain cart back to Waldron, and we'll be everything buttoned up down here and done. Alright, so it's dark. We're working our way across this field. We're, I don't know, 17, 18 acres into it, something like that. It's boring video, so I'm going to do something to spice it up a little bit. You guys know how this spring we did a little turn automation with the 8RX? That was in this field. This is a good field for it because it's a big square 80. Straight rows, square ends. It works. And for those of you that watch Millennial Farmer, Zach, you'll know that a couple years ago he had an 8RX and he attempted to plant a whole field without touching the steering wheel, blah, 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 whatever. Like, it's a really cool thing. And it is a really cool thing. However, it is not only capable of being done with 8RXs or brand new tractors. This tractor right here can do it just fine with an old feature called iTech Pro, which 2630s just so happen to come with a 15-hour demo of. And I have 14 and a half hours of that demo left. We're going to use some of it up right here. It's going to take me a little bit to get it set up. We got to record our turns. So I'm going to do the entering the turn now, and then we'll do the exit on the other end. So here's our iTech kind of setup screen. Basically, you have to set up sequences. So that's what I just did on that one. I set up the disc enter sequence, which is entering the headland. The end. The next time I will record the exit pass, which is basically just clicking to set the disc down. And then should be able to do it. We'll have to maybe put some offsets in there to tell it when to start and when to stop, but it will automatically turn for us. Let's see, is there any settings we need to change here? Turn pattern. We want to skip and fill. Yeah, no, not skip and fill. First turn skip. Something like that. I want to minimize the turns where you're turning and taking the next pass. I want to skip and then take wider turns, so we can kind of adjust that a little bit. Minimize skips. Yeah, okay. So that's good. So, all right, I got to do the exiting recording yet, and then the next time we should be able to automate it. Okay, so we got our exit set up there. So now the trick to this, for those of you running 2630s, you can do this too on any 30 series or newer tractor. You can set this up. You got to go into your GS3 button there and then hit activations, and there's a little iTech Pro demo. And you got to hit the check mark. You can see I've got 14 and a half hours left on this little demo here. The way that you preserve those hours is because this little button right here, it says iTech Pro off. It doesn't count unless the third piece of the pie is filled in. So if you uncheck that, it's not taking off of your hours. Now, I could care less at this point because I am never going to activate this and I don't need it enough, so we should just leave it on and use some of it and be done with it. But every display has a 15-hour demo that comes with it. Now, that feature is like, I don't know if it was a $1,500 or $2,500 unlock to be able to use it. It's just not worth it. I mean, this is cool. It's a fun novelty. It's just easier to turn on the ends and just do it rather than setting it all up and trying to get the tractor to do it for me. So, we're going to go ahead and turn it on here. And you'll notice that it's not a full pie. It's not engaged. You got to hit this resume button again. And now it is. So now when we get up towards the end, it's going to ask me, which way do you want to turn? And how many passes do you want to skip? And we're going to tell it. I'm not sure how close you have to get to the end before it asks, or it realizes that you're almost to an end. Oh, you also have to set up a headland boundary. I already did that. Oh, there we go. Okay, and we want it to go that way, skip 2 tracks, except the red line is not good. That means we're probably going to go outside the field boundary. Fortunately, there's nothing to hit there except for a road. Well, this is where the tweaking comes in. We may slow down a little too. Gonna make it? Nope. Okay, bail. It did not do it. All right, we got some tweaking to do. All right. The first thing we're going to do is go in and adjust our boundaries. We had it set at 54 feet, which would be 2 disc passes of 27 feet. Let's just go ahead. Let's see. 27 to be 81, right? 54, 64, 70, 81. Let's just make it 80. We'll go 80 feet, and we'll see if that matters. right, we'll try again on this end. Now this end there's a ditch and trees, so we can't go outside that either. All right, so this time we're gonna skip one to the left. Let's see what it wants to do. It wants to go one to the right. We're gonna go left. Skip one track, accept. Still showing red. Still showing red. We'll see if it even tries and starts to turn on its own this time. But I am ready to take over if necessary. Oh, whoa, yeah. Was gonna do a big light bulb turn. Nope, that's no good. Did not lift the disc out of the ground either. So we gotta tweak some turning radiuses and offsets. But we're closer. All right, I re-engaged it, but I changed this offset to negative 20 feet so it'll start it sooner. And I went in here and I changed the implement turning radius to 22 feet, which matches the tractor turning radius in the display. Basically telling it you can turn sharper than what you've been trying to do. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But we're about to find out. We're gonna skip one, going to the right this time, approaching an impassable boundary. Let's see. It turned white. It's not red. Let's see. Let's see. So it should turn us and lift the implement and then set it back down and put us on the new path. Okay, turn. Disc is up. Skipping a path. Oh, okay. Okay. Set it down. Set it down. Set it down. Nice. Nice. It worked. Wasn't real smooth, but it worked. All right, I'm confident enough. I put the steering wheel up. I'm gonna try and film this without doing anything. Let's see, we're skipping one to the left. My foot is on the clutch though. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, it's gonna turn sharp. Whoop. Okay. All right. Whoop, whoop. Oh, we're all over. But we made it. Disc in the ground. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know if I'm going to keep using this, but I did make it work, and I could theoretically go through most of the rest of this field until we get to the wedge over there without touching the steering wheel. I do have to tell the display which way to turn, but it can be done. It's not as easy to set up as in the 8RX or the Gen 4 monitors, but it does work. This technology is not new. This is, let's see, the 8430, this is a 2009 model tractor. And I believe the 2630s had to come out in 2011, 10, 11, something like that. I don't know if the 2600s, the previous model display, would have done this or not, but I know these do. Well, we're marching across here. We've just got a few more rounds to do. We're working by our houses. This is that field by the subdivision. So this is the first field we did when we came down here to do the corn at Berkey. So it's been a week and a half since we harvested this. I feel like the stalks have dried out just a little bit more. They're just a little bit more brittle and breaking up a little bit more than some of that other stuff. I really like to let the corn stalks set for a couple of weeks after harvest before we disc them. Sometimes that's possible, sometimes it's not. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, we're doing a good job, and we are just about done here. There it is. Finish up the wedge, and we'll get out of here. One more round on the ends here, and we are wrapping this up. Good deal. Good to have the tillage and everything done here at Berkey. So we're gonna take this back to the farm and head home for the night. We'll come back first thing in the morning and grab the two tractors. Like I said, leave the truck here. I have two seed trucks coming tomorrow. The first one comes at 10:30. So, given that it's going to take almost, not quite, but almost 2 hours to get home with the tractor, we better get moving bright and early so I can be back by 10:30 to get my trucks unloaded. Next year, I won't be able to just pull out of the corner like this. They're going to put a roundabout right here. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. All right. I'm going home. Actually, I'm going to go get some food, and then I'm going home. So, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. Questions, comments, leave them down below. And I'll see you again in the morning. Seed trucks and moving equipment. That's what I know we got going on. we'll see what else we can find to do. I need a little water. All right, everybody. Have a good night.